All right, welcome back to the Mic'd Up Podcast with Zach and Dom, everybody.
Yep, today we have a lot to hit, ranging from all different sports. So let's just get right into it. See this here. UFC 313 is this weekend.
Ooh, I love me some.
Yeah.
Where are we at? Small break already in the action. Where are we going?
Probably watch it at Wes's.
Yeah.
He was saying something about going out Saturday. We can watch it with him.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
We're going to get some margaritas.
Yeah, maybe we can go back to Wes's after and watch some UFC.
All right, sweet.
You're going to be very disappointed. So
Hit me with it.
One of the fight. It's probably the fight you were looking forward to the most. Dan Hooker and Justin Gaethje. Dan Hooker pulls out.
Yeah.
Dan Hooker.
I think I did hear about that.
He pulls out because he broke his hand. I don't know the severity of it or anything like that. All I know is he broke his hand.
Broke his hand. Okay.
Yeah. Which sucks. That was going to be a spectacular fight. Just two dudes. Justin Gaethje hasn't been in the UFC like incredibly long. He's probably been there like six or 7 years. But Dan Hooker's been in the UFC for a long time. He was a featherweight, moved up to lightweight.
Definitely.
So it was
but that
a fight
was
between two old good veterans.
Right. That was also the co-main. So like,
Yeah.
what was the main? Who's the main?
Alex Pereira, Magomed Ankalaev.
Yeah. Fuck, I forgot about that. I forgot.
Yep. Moving to the NFL, Deebo Samuel was traded to the Washington Commanders for a 5th-round pick.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's all he was worth?
5th
round pick?
Oh, well, I figured they just wanted to get something from him.
Yeah.
Or something for him.
I guess
he wasn't going to re-sign, so they were like, well, I don't know when his contract is up. It's probably next year, if I had to guess. But they were probably just like, if this guy's not going to re-sign with us, might as well get something out of it. Get something from him.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
Going over the NFL Combine, that ran from Thursday to today. It ended today at like 3, I think. I think maybe 1. I don't know. But it ended today. The biggest story from it. What's up?
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, is there any like noticeable stars that you paid attention to, like up and comers that you kind of?
Not really.
Nobody
really
that like kind of jumped out at you.
No, like previous combines, you'd scroll through Twitter and you'd see like highlights from a bunch of people. This year, I feel like I haven't really seen anything.
Remember that one time that dude's dick fell out?
Yeah, during the 40-yard dash.
That shit was great, dude. That shit was great.
Oh my god! Yeah, during the 40-yard dash, he falls forward at the end.
That shit was great. Dick was swinging. Dude.
Yeah, it was. The biggest story I would say from it is that Texas receiver Isaiah Bond claimed that he would break the 40-yard dash record set by his teammate last year, running a 4.22 or 4.28. It was one of the two. And he said he was going to run a 4.2 flat or maybe even a 4.1. 4.1's never been done in history. Never. He ends up running, at the time it was unofficial, a 4.41, but it's officially a 4.38. Ends up running a 4.38. Doesn't even get in the twos. But, oh my God.
That's crazy. That's insane.
Mm-hmm. Talking all that talk just to not even run a 4.2. You're like, oh, I'm setting the record. Not only am I running a 4.2 and setting the record, I'm running a 4.1. And then he comes out and runs a 4.3, which is still insanely, a 4.39 is great. That is a great 40-yard time, and that's pretty fast. But I mean, he was claiming he was going to run a 4.1. So
yeah. He was just talking up his game, and it fell flat.
His teammate Matthew Golden, another receiver from Texas, stole the show, running a 4.29. 4.29, fastest among receivers from this entire year.
Whole tenth of a second.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Possible number 1 draft pick, Abdul Carter. He's who I think should be number 1. A lot of people say Cam Ward or Shador Sanders or Travis Hunter. I think it should be Abdul Carter. I think he's going to be the best. Penn State edge. He was really good.
Thank you. I was about to ask.
Yeah. He has a stress reaction in his right foot, according to ESPN. He'll have to decide very soon if he wants surgery or not.
Stress reaction.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
What is even that?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's
Really
probably
good.
like a stress fracture, if I had to guess, in his right foot. Just like not like a complete break, but there's a little chip or like a small
Right.
hairline fracture.
Stress reaction versus stress fracture. Fracture can be seen on most imaging studies, X-ray, MRI, CT scan, whereas a stress reaction can only be shown up as increased bone activity on a bone scan.
Hmm.
Both injuries cause midfoot pain and swelling, weight bearing, walking, running, making it worse. Huh. So it's essentially the same thing.
Yeah, just can't see it
Just
on an
one shows
MRI
up.
or
Yeah.
X-ray.
Yeah. Exactly. One shows up on one thing, one doesn't.
If he does decide to go through with the procedure, he'll have a screw put in his right foot, and it'll have him out for roughly 8 weeks. If he doesn't do
That
it,
sucks.
he'll perform at Penn State's pro day because he already opted out of the combine because of a shoulder injury he got during the Boise State game.
Damn.
But he will
That's
be
fucked up.
at Penn State's pro day if he doesn't do the procedure and show, he can go out there and show that he doesn't need a procedure. It's, it's just a doctor
Right.
saying it doesn't bother him at all or whatever.
Gotcha. Did he already say he was gonna
No, he hasn't
for sure
decided
go
yet.
to pro day
He hasn't decided
or
yet.
whatever? Okay.
Emeka Egbuka interviews with the Houston Texans. That would be exciting.
That'd be
They're very
crazy.
receiver studded already. Like they've got Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Cade Stover. He's not great yet. Dalton Schultz. Like they've got dudes that can catch the ball. But Emeka Egbuka it'd still be a great pickup. I don't care who you are. If you had a receiver like that, he'd be a good slot receiver. Yeah, I'm sure Houston would love to pair him with C.J. Stroud, his former teammate.
True.
But the Houston Texans have the number 25 spot, and seemingly every draft mock that's out there has the Steelers taking Emeka at 21. That's all you'll see.
We'll take that. Now we just need to find somebody to pair him with.
Yeah, quarterback Justin Fields.
Yeah,
Dude.
Is
I think Justin Fields will be fine.
he staying?
I don't know. Let me look it up.
Don't know. We don't know yet.
I haven't heard.
I just don't even know. Me neither. But I don't even know who else it would be out there that'd be a good option.
No, he hasn't resigned yet. Me neither.
It's unfortunate for me.
You could go get an old veteran and draft a young guy. Like you could get Rodgers or Kirk Cousins. Matthew Stafford, not anymore. He just signed yesterday.
It'd be crazy. Seeing Aaron Rodgers in a Steelers jersey would be fucking. Not in my life would I have ever thought that would happen.
Me neither.
Not in my entire life.
I'm trying to think of like other veterans who are free agents. Went to the Jackets game yesterday.
Oh yeah, the friggin' stadium
series.
Game, right?
Yeah, stadium series. That was phenomenal.
Yeah.
That was phenomenal. We beat the Red Wings on the road Thursday, and then beat them again at home in the stadium series.
Oh shit! So I remember saying like, damn, it kind of sucks.
We're playing back to back. Yeah.
But hey, as long as we beat them both times,
we got them both times, and we got a big 4 points last night. Okay, so Thursday, if we beat them, we were tied for the number 1 wild card spot in the Eastern Conference, and we did beat them, so we were tied. And then last night, we were still tied. Winner gets the lead for the number 1 spot.
Damn! So now we got it.
Yeah. Yep. For right now, we still have 22 games left, I believe.
Shit. Okay.
Like a quarter of the season. We're 3/4 of the way done. Justin, Jets going back to football. Sorry, Jets set to trade or release Davante Adams. I said that a couple weeks ago or last week maybe.
Yeah, you did.
Now that Rodgers is gone, I don't see them. I don't see them keeping Davante. And they didn't really give up much for him. Well, what did I say? A third round pick, maybe 5th round, 4th round, something like that. It wasn't nothing big. Okay.
Yeah,
so NFL free agents right now. Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold would be good on the Steelers. I think so. He did really good in Minnesota this past year. Before that, he was like the clown of the QB. He was like
Right.
the worst starting QB in the league, but he really stepped it up and came back. Zach Wilson, I'm not. I don't think he'll be very good. Trey Lance, he's awful. Trey Lance was the number 2 pick, maybe. I don't know. He was the second quarterback taken in Justin Fields' draft. It was Trevor Lawrence, and then I think Trey Lance, and then Zach Wilson, or maybe Zach Wilson, then Trey Lance, and then Justin Fields. That whole
Damn.
draft was not very good. Marcus Mariota, he's a
Yeah.
free agent. He hasn't started in a long time,
Mariota.
dude.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston,
That'd be crazy.
that would be so funny.
That'd be crazy. I don't know if I would want that, but that would be crazy.
No, I probably wouldn't if I was a Steelers fan. That's really all the big names. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo, Case Keenum, like Carson Wentz, Mac Jones,
Carson Wentz would be fun.
Joe
Get him
Flacco,
running around. I don't know. Joe Flacco's always
yeah, Kyle Trask. Yeah, none of these dudes are. Teddy Bridgewater's looking to make a comeback. He took last season off to go coach high school football. I think he
That'd
won
be
the state championship, actually.
That's actually nuts. Makes sense. You know, NFL fucking quarterback coaching a high school team.
Yeah,
I
after
mean,
leading Miami Northwestern to a state championship. Yeah, his former high school.
great.
Talk about a story there. That is sick. Could you
Yeah.
imagine? Could you imagine
No.
going to the NFL and then coming back and leading fucking North Union to a state championship? Or
No.
That would be
No, I
insane.
cannot.
That
No,
would
I
be
cannot.
insane. Going back to the Blue Jackets game. It was cold.
Oh yeah.
It was
I
cold.
forgot that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, I got interrupted by Devontae Adams, and I wanted to finish on that free agency quarterback. But yeah, it was cold out there. It was a crisp, like 25 degrees. Wind was blowing. The seats are all metal. They were freezing. I mean, it was terrible. But it was awesome. It was awesome to see. It was really fun. It was really fun. I'm about to show a clip here. You're gonna see the rink and all that. Dude, it was sick. It really was. There was a flyover during the national anthem.
Of what? What flew over?
B-52 bomber and 2 F-16s.
Yarr.
It was
Yeah.
sweet, and they
I was
had
hoping
fireworks
it was a bomber.
going
That's
off and
good.
shit. Yeah, it was sick. And then 21 Pilots performed at the end of the
Oh,
first
shit.
period, the first intermission. That was really cool. You couldn't understand a
neat.
thing he was saying from where we were sitting because our speakers were turned off for some reason. We were in like the student section. You're gonna see it on this video right under where it says Ohio Stadium with the logo. But yeah, we couldn't really hear him on the speakers or anything. We could see the back of them. We were behind the stage, but it was still a cool show. There was fire coming out there, fireworks, light show. It was a cool show. It
Oh,
was.
yeah.
During the second intermission, they recognized the Ohio State national champions, all of them: the football team,
cool.
the dance team, cheer team, and the women's hockey.
Oh, sweet.
That was cool. Yep, saw my neighbor Nadine.
Oh, nice.
Okay, let's
That's
get this
what's up.
video going.
Yeah. I was ready for it, and then you kind of teased me.
My bad.
You were like, "I'm gonna show you this video," and then 3 minutes later, the video's still not.
Yeah, fireworks. Yeah, that was the ice in the stadium. This is a rendering. This isn't an actual picture, but this is exactly what it looked like.
Obvious. Yeah.
Yeah, had the Buckeye leaves and everything. There was the stage for 21 Pilots, and we were right behind. We were right up here.
Okay.
The Blue Jackets players came out from there. Red Wings players came out from here. Yeah,
Huh.
the cannon's right here.
Yeah, I saw the cannon firing. a few
Yeah, it was
times.
cool, dude. It was sick. And then,
Awesome.
oh yeah,
well-
yeah. When 21 Pilots came out, they turned all the lights off, like all the big overhead lights, and did the side lights, and it was all red.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was
That's,
a fun event to go to for sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the first time ever. It's pretty cool. that
Yeah,
you went
yeah.
out.
And 21 Pilots, like I said, I couldn't really understand them because not because anything they did. I just couldn't hear them. The speakers weren't turned on our side, but they put on one hell of a show. It was cool for sure.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Before, I'd never really been a fan of 21 Pilots because I'd never
Yeah, I don't really-
I know their most 3 popular songs, but that's it.
Me too. Me
That's
too.
it. But it was a really cool show.
If 3, honestly. I know like 1.
Yeah, I know. Stressed Out,
Oh, just kidding. I know that one. I don't know the names of them.
Heathens. All
Nope.
my friends are heathens. Take it slow. There's another one I don't know the name of.
I don't think I know that one. Yeah, no, to be honest, I couldn't name any songs that they have. Not off the top of my head.
Yeah. Going
If I
to
saw it and heard it, I'd be like, oh, okay.
moving to the NBA.
NBA.
So you know that 5-team trade that I was talking to you about
Yeah, massive
with Jimmy
one, right?
with Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
Well, Jimmy Butler's now being sued. He's
What?
being sued for allegedly failing to pay $260,000 in rent and leaving behind more than $127,000 in damages to his former luxurious home in Miami, Florida.
So didn't pay $260,000 rent.
Yeah, he's leasing the home, by the way. He's leasing. He doesn't own. He's just leasing.
What the hell?
Yeah.
And $127,000
In damages. In damages.
How do you even?
Okay. Right. The plaintiff says that Butler failed to pay 2 months of rent at $130,000 per month. $130,000 per month. The lawsuit also says that Butler changed the locks and would not give a key to the property owner, which in conclusion stopped the maintenance crew from entering the home. Butler also failed to maintain the air conditioning, which led to mold being grown that required the replacement and removal of ceilings and floors. The plaintiff is wanting a payment of $257,000 for repairs and the right to keep the $130,000 security deposit.
Wow.
That's from a couple articles that I read earlier. Yeah.
That is a lot of goddamn money. That is $387,282.
Mm-hmm.
That is insane.
That's insane money. Yeah.
387. That is more than. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Could have just went and bought a small house.
He could have. 100%.
Like, what the hell? Just go buy. What do you need a giant fucking apartment for? Just go buy a small house.
I read like it was like 5,800 square feet, maybe. It's supposedly a beautiful home. I hadn't seen it, but
yeah, I don't doubt it. It's
all the articles I read were like, "Oh, it's luxurious, blah blah blah." Yeah, yeah. Failed to pay 2 months of rent, and then changed the locks so the property owner, and the maintenance crew could not get inside.
That's just
the pool was also messed up somehow.
He deserves to be sued.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I hope.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He better have to. He better pay that shit.
Yeah. He messed up the pool. I can look it up. I don't know how.
There's pictures of it?
No.
Oh shit! I was about to say, man. Say, somebody snuck in there and got some snaps.
No.
Somebody took a Snapchat video of them in the pool.
The green pool.
Yeah. It's like Jimmy, jump in.
Oh, it just says he failed to maintain the swimming pool.
That's dumb. So it was just green.
Yeah, for sure. It was green and nasty and growing mold and everything. For sure.
That's crazy. It was no longer a pool, it was a pond.
It was. It was a lagoon. It was like Florida lagoon. Dude, could you imagine the amount of fucking algae and just everything that would build up in that pool in South Florida? Humid South Florida. That's insane.
Might have been a gator in that bitch.
For sure. For sure.
Like, for sure, frogs, maybe a gator. Potentially a snake.
Yeah. Definitely frogs. Definitely.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Frogs are like 1,000%. Like, there's no.
Lizards.
I'm not even. Yeah. Shit. 100 of them.
Dude, I really
pool was probably massive.
What that pool was looking like. Dude, I tried to look up Jimmy Butler pool.
Miami house.
I mean, it just shows his pool as a clean pool. It is beautiful.
I mean, yeah, if you're looking at the same one I'm looking at.
Pool.
So it had sharks in that bitch.
Yeah. That's how he kept the gators out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't know, bro. Saltwater
crocs?
Saltwater crocodiles will probably fuck a shark up, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Dude, those.
Depending on the type of shark.
Well, because crocodiles are so fast. They're not like alligators. Alligators are big and slow and whatever.
Yeah,
Crocodiles are small and versatile. They're not like, like small, but they're skinnier than alligators.
yeah, but a saltwater crocodile is ginormous and way bigger than an alligator.
Yeah, yeah.
Saltwater crocodiles, I think, are like 15 feet long.
Yeah, but they're definitely skinnier. Like they're not they're smaller than a 15-foot alligator would be.
I don't think so, bro. Saltwater crocs are ginormous. Look, oh my. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm sharing my screen. Look at this. Um, let's go here. Look at that.
Yeah, 8 to 20,
You're
15 to
crazy.
20. No, dude, look up
Get these things.
saltwater croc
Look at that. Look at that motherfucker.
next to alligator.
All right.
Their heads are skinnier.
Saltwater croc versus.
Yeah, see that bottom one's the croc. His teeth are all fucked up. They've got a skinnier beak. Look at that picture
Honestly,
in
though,
the
those look
bottom right.
pretty. Those look very similar.
Yeah, yeah, they do. Look at that picture to the bottom.
Oh, like in this one?
Oh, yeah, yeah, the overhead view.
This one.
Yeah, yeah. You see on the left how the crocodile is like his face
Yeah,
is
I
so
could
much
see. Yeah,
skinnier.
it's definitely thicker. The face for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like body wise, length wise, dude, I think the saltwater crocodile has it.
Well, yeah, for sure,
Look at
probably.
this motherfucker.
That's why they're more like agile than
Like, look
alligators.
at that. Yeah. Good God.
Yeah, alligators and crocodiles, I would not mess with.
What is that thing? I don't even know what that thing is.
AJ
There we
Hawk,
go.
you know AJ Hawk.
Okay, yeah.
He tells a story about how in college he had a pet alligator. Him and his buddies, him and some of the football players, they had a pet alligator named Jimmy.
That's crazy. Jimmy Butler?
Yeah, yeah, just a croc or an alligator in Columbus, Ohio, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
doesn't surprise me, though.
No, God no.
That doesn't surprise me.
Uh,
Damn. All right,
Going
well,
back to the NBA.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let's get back to some
I got one
sports.
more thing.
Yeah.
The Boston Celtics. I don't know when this game was. Hold on, let me look it up. It was a couple days ago.
Right, not last.
Friday, February 28th, 2 days ago. The Boston Celtics blow a 25-3 lead against the Cavaliers at home.
Embarrassing.
Very.
Rather embarrassing.
Jason Tatum, he hit a three to go up 25-3, and the Cavs called timeout. And he's like, bye, send him home, game over, whatever. And then he loses. It's so funny.
Yeah.
I hate the Celtics. I really do.
I
I hate the Celtics
I
because of
don't-
Jason Tatum. That's it. That's the only reason.
don't even know. Couldn't even tell you what that guy looks like,
A bitch.
to be honest. That bitch. That's funny. And, yeah, all right. I get it now. I know what he looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it. It's understandable. It's understandable. All right. Well, would you like to move over to Counter Strike, or is
Yeah,
that all
for sure.
That all the sports things you got?
Yeah.
All right. Well, to kick things off, ESL Pro League Season 21 started Saturday,
All right.
so March 1st. And so far, the team to look out for.
Wait. This is like the regular season, right? The normal regular season?
No, so this is a tournament, and they just call it ESL Pro League, right? And there's 2 seasons a year. So there's 2 of these tournaments a year, and they just keep going up in seasons. That's just what they call it. So it's just pretty much a normal tournament that has a lot more teams, and there's a lot more opportunity for like the tier 2 teams, tier 3 teams to make runs and face off against tier 1 teams.
Is there like like an NFL in Counter Strike? Like you go through a regular season and then your record determines whether or not you make the ending tournament, the playoffs, or whatever.
Um,
If not, we should start that
no,
shit.
no. There's like so like the new thing this year with tournament rankings and invites and shit to tournaments. So like to make the major, you have to be so like to be automatically invited to the major to where you don't have to qualify. You have to be in like the top 8 ranking. So like top 8 immediately go, and then
Similar to
after
how
that,
they do like PGA major, not PGA, just golf majors.
kind of, kind of. But the top 8 are invited no matter what, and then the rest of everybody else has to play through an open qualifier.
Really,
So there's
they don't do like past champions or whatever. Get an automatic bid.
nope, nope.
Pretty like
It's
for some
if
golf
you want to play
majors.
if you
For,
want to play in that tournament and you think you're good enough to win, you have to beat people to win. It's not like I'm gonna invite you here just because you won it last year.
yeah, yeah, like
Or
in
but
golf majors,
but
it's like winners of
that
the
being
past 5
said,
events make it or whatever.
if you won the last major, you're more than likely going to be ranked in the top
Yeah,
8. So you're more than likely going to already have that invite. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But say you won a major 2 years ago, you switched out your roster, now you're top 20. You're not going to be automatically invited just because you've previously won a major. Because that doesn't mean you're good enough to win this major. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So theoretically, it is kind of like that. If you do win the last major, you are pretty much invited.
All right,
But other than that,
but no like
it's
NFL, no
kind of
like
like
regular
no,
season. That'd be cool.
no,
That'd be
because
cool
there's
though.
no like playoff
Yeah.
type thing. Like it's just the ending tournament is the major, and that's like the most important thing. There's 2 majors a year, right? And they've just switched it this year to where the major is the ending of the actual season. This is ESL Pro League season thing. That's like their own thing. The actual Counter Strike season is 6 months. It's like the beginning of the year to like July, June, like right into June, early July,
Mm.
and then the season 2 of the year will start July to like December. Um,
It
and
wasn't.
but
Did they used to play Counter Strike at MLG Columbus?
yes,
I
that
remember
that
that being
was
like a big event.
that was a major. It was a major
Okay.
in 2016, MLG Columbus.
Yeah.
There was one of the craziest highlights ever hit. It was turned into a graffiti on the map. I'm actually about to pull it up for you because it was insane. It was in Columbus, 2016. Simple. Some say Simple's the best uh, CS player ever. Like literally the goat of CS. Okay. Let me get it set up. Oh shit. Let me get it set up for you. Share screen.
Strawless placed second that year.
Uh,
Oh no, they placed third that year.
in 2016, yeah, I think, yeah. So, all right, let's watch this here. It's gonna be not that good quality,
It's okay.
unfortunately. But so this is simple. This is 2016, the major in 2016. This is simple. Boom. Watch this. It's he gets the falling double no scope. It's freaking insane. Let's see if they show a replay. Yeah, look. First one, no scope. Second one, no scope.
Damn.
And they turned it into a graffiti. People consider it still one of the best highlights like ever. But that was MLG Columbus 2016. It's crazy that you remember that because
Yeah.
that's insane. Um, but yeah, basically the new tournament system this year that they just started, the major is always going to be at the end of the year or the end of the season, and it's going to be top 8 will get invited. Because before that, it was like a whole different. It was confusing as shit.
Yeah.
It still is confusing as shit, to be honest. But anyway, back to ESL Pro League season 21. Our teams to look out for so far, because we have like kind of up and coming. These are like tier 2 teams. The teams to look out so far are Tyloo. They're an all Chinese roster, and they are just starting off hot, man. I mean, they got a 2-0 win over 3D Max. 3D Max is an all-French roster. They were shown good form in the past couple tournaments. 3D Max has put up a fight against some good teams, but they beat them 2-0. So and that was their first matchup on Saturday. And then today they beat Eternal Fire, the all Turkish team, who's also been making it to grand final. Like, damn good team. They 2-0'd them today. So, like, convincing win over them. So Tyloo's been starting off hot this tournament. Like, super hot. Though their upcoming match tomorrow is going to be against Gamer Legion. Right? So Gamer Legion is a North American roster. They've been pretty decent. They pulled out a 2-1 win over NRG. NRG is, I want to say, also a North American roster.
Yeah, they are Rocket League.
Yeah, don't quote me on that. But in Rocket League, they're pretty good, I think, right?
Very.
Yeah, exactly. In CS, not so much. They are, I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're there.
But yeah, exactly. Gamer Legion, they're tier 2, so I mean they're probably pretty good in the tier 2 scene, but in the tier 1 scene, they're just not. They're non-existent. They're not a tier 1 team.
Now, if you, when you say that, is that like their own separate tournaments, tier 1, tier 2? Or are you just just saying like they're not a world champion?
Kind of both.
Okay.
Kind of both. Because there is tournaments that are like strictly tier 2, like because that is technically a thing, right? Tier 1, tier 2, and like
because I was gonna ask if there's a way to like move, like if you win, say Tyloo wins this tournament, do they move up to tier 1?
They probably would.
Okay. If any of these two tier teams win, do they move up?
But I would say yes, especially this tournament, because to win this tournament, you're gonna have to face off and beat 5 tier 1 teams.
So is it just like an opinion based thing? Because like I think it's the Premier League overseas in soccer or whatever. They have different divisions or whatever, and if you win your division, you move up, and if you finish last in your division, you move down.
It's kind of like that, but it's also kind of like if you're good enough to beat the tier 1 teams, then you will also be a tier 1 team.
All right.
But as it stands, the tier 1 teams, when they play a tier 2 team, you can tell.
Okay.
You can tell. Like it's a
like
whole different ball.
Like an Ohio State against Michigan State sort of game. Or like Ohio State versus Western Michigan type of game.
I would say like Ohio State versus prime New England Patriots.
Oh, okay.
Like,
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's totally different.
All right.
It's totally different. Now, then you have a tier 1.5 team who's like your Eternal Fire, who's supposed to beat these tier 2 teams, and then
lose
very close to beating, and sometimes can beat these tier 1 teams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On a good day, they're gonna beat these tier 1 teams. So that's where you have like kind of tier 1.5, and that's what I would consider Eternal Fire, Furia. 3D Max has kind of moved up to a tier 1.5 team. FaZe has unfortunately kind of moved down to a tier 1.5 team because they're just kind of getting shit on. I mean, they just made it to grand finals, so they're kind of moving back up. They got Elige, their North American rifler, so they're on a good trajectory. They're kind of moving back up.
Yeah.
But man, at the end of last year, they were falling hard, like very hard. So it's rough. But Gamer Legion, I would consider a definite like tier 2 team, and they beat out NRG. NRG, like I said, also tier 2 team. I'd say they're both kind of the upper echelon of tier 2.
Right.
I think. I don't follow tier 2 that closely, but when it comes to ESL Pro League, they're in the mix of the tournament, so then you kind of have to follow them a little more closely.
Just like majors.
But that means
like golf majors.
Exactly.
Small, non-known guy, amateur is coming up. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the exact same way with CS majors. You could have a team that just got put together who fights their way through the RMRs, qualifies for the major, goes into the major, and puts in a fucking top 5 performance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's totally it's awesome. The way it is pretty awesome. But Gamer Legion also beat out MIBR, a full Brazilian team today. They beat them 2-0. That was a pretty convincing win. The thing with Brazil, man, is they just have 3 full Brazilian lineups, and all of them have like pretty decent players. And if they would just
Come
make
together.
one banger Brazilian lineup, then it would just be. I think they would skyrocket.
Yeah.
Because you have MIBR, you have Furia, and you have Pain Gaming, who are all Brazilian lineups. And if we cut up Pain and MIBR and added maybe 1 to 2 players, probably 1 each to Furia, I think you're making
best players from those 2 teams.
Yes, yeah. I think you're making a tier 1 team just like that.
Yeah.
But they have it so split up throughout Brazil that it's hard. It's very difficult. Which is crazy. But the next team that we need to keep our eyes on, aside from Tyloo, is M80. And M80 is a North American roster who is pretty decent, right? So M80 had a guy named Malbs, and Malbs, like, this was last year. And Malbs played they played against the tier 1 team, G2, because M80 is a tier 2 team. So M80 played against tier 1 and G2, and this one guy, Malbs, beat the shit out of him. And then a couple tournaments later, not Mouse, Malbs, Malbs.
Oh, I was thinking Mouz.
Yeah. That's Mouse. That's Mouse Gaming. That's a whole organization. But Malbs, he shit on G2, and then a couple tournaments later, they signed Malbs off the tier 2 team to move him up to tier 1.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? So, like, they're like, God damn, he fucking...
Yeah.
This dude's crazy. This dude's crazy. We need him. Which is awesome. But, so M80's, they've been on fire this tournament so far. They've got, they beat FlyQuest 2-0 on Saturday. FlyQuest is a full Australian roster. I think we've talked about FlyQuest before. So on Saturday they beat them 2-0. And then today they beat Pain Gaming. Like I said, that Brazilian roster that just can't, like, they just need, I'm telling you, they need to change some shit up. M80 are going to have to go up against Saul tomorrow. We talked about Saul last week because they had that roster change where they took out the guy that was only there for like 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Saul put up a good showing. Saul, with their new roster, they beat Heroic 2-1 and then beat Furia 2-1. So I mean, both close games, but they were able to pull through and get the dubs.
Squeak out the win.
And I don't know if you noticed, but that's all 3 Brazilian teams losing. That backs my point if they need to switch some shit around and make one good Brazilian team. They have 3 Brazilian teams all losing out to tier 2 teams. It's like, how? Like, that shouldn't be happening, especially Furia. Furia is supposed to be a top dog, like a for sure tier 1.5 team. And they're losing. Shouldn't be happening. Which, I mean, that's just crazy, man. The last thing I did want to cover, though, with CS in this tournament, the 2 days that has happened so far, is our highest rated player, that being Jam Young. He's a Chinese rifler. He plays for Tyloo. He had a rating of 1.54 over 4 maps.
Damn.
Which is kind of crazy. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like, that's high. Yeah, that's high.
For 4 maps,
For 4 maps, that's crazy. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, like, having a 1.54 on 1 map, cool, that's awesome. You destroyed them that game. Yeah. Having it over 4 maps, like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'd say he's for sure the biggest reason Tyloo's 2-0, and in the tournament, they're 2-0. And he's for sure the reason that they're on my top watch list for the tournament on who could actually make a run and beat some of these tier 1 teams. And I don't think the tier 1 teams come in until next weekend, like Friday. Okay. So far, we're waiting. I think top 4 of this bracket, of this stage, make it to the next one. Maybe 8. I think it might be 8. I think it's 4. Could be 6. I don't actually know. I will tell you when it actually happens.
Who are your teams to watch to go up?
So like, who do I think is going to make it?
Yeah.
Like for sure. I think Eternal Fire will pull through, even though they lost against Tyloo. I think Tyloo's for sure going to go through.
Yep.
I think Eternal Fire is going to go through. I think Tyloo. I think M80. I think M80 is going to go through. If I had to give one of the Brazilian teams, it's Furia, because it always seems that when they are down in the dumps that they
Backs
somehow
against the
pull it.
wall.
Yeah, exactly. When their back's against the wall, they're going to come out swinging and they're going to rip some heads off some shoulders, which is always a good thing. Other than that, I think what I named 4 teams there. I think those are the 4 that I think those are the 4 that I are like guaranteed to go through, unless they end up having to play each other and
then knocking each other out
and knocking each other out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But other than that, I think those 4 are pretty good chance of making it through.
You said that starts this upcoming Friday?
Well, I think that's when the tier 1 teams come in. Like, so this has already started. Like, these teams play tomorrow. Like, there's going to be matches tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
And
all week?
Yeah, up until Wednesday at least. Okay. Wednesday is when we'll know which teams make it on to the next stage. So I'll be able to let you know next week who made it, and then who from the tier 1 teams is putting on a good show and not putting on a good show. Because I think some of these tier 1 teams are going to have a bit of a struggle against, say, Tyloo or M80 if they come out swinging.
Now, would they get relegated to tier 1.5 or tier 2 if they happen to lose to one of these teams?
Not immediately, because it does also have to do kind of with like Valve rankings. So like you have to be, I'd say, a top 20 team, top 15 team to be considered. I'd say top 15 to be considered tier 1.5, and like top 8 to be considered tier 1. So like, I'd say if they beat some of these tier 1 teams, they move up into the top 15. Yeah, I'd say they are considered a tier 1.5 team. Not necessarily a tier 1 team yet, because they're not consistently beating these tier 1 teams and winning tournaments. To be considered a tier 1 team, you need to be winning tournaments.
Now, right? Say so like
if you're not winning.
Say like the 13 team loses to the 20th ranked team, would they move down? Would they move down to like 16?
13's going to move down, yes, but it's not as much as you think, because the rankings has a lot to do with prize money. Right, so the more prize money you win, the higher you're going to go up in the rankings.
Yeah,
that's like one of the biggest things. You need to be winning tournaments. If you're not winning tournaments, you're not going to go up in rankings. The only way you are is if you're, say, ranked 20 or 23,
and you beat top 5,
and you beat a ranked ranked 8, even ranked 11. You know what I mean? You're going to move up for sure, because you're not supposed to beat these teams, but you are, right? I mean, it's always fun. It'll be crazy though.
How often do new rankings come out?
They do it. Well, see, that's the thing. Is Valve was supposed to be doing it, I think, weekly. I think that everybody wants it weekly because there was an instance where Gamer Legion actually got fucked out of an invitation because they were making it far in this tournament, and
they were expected to move up, and then the ranking never came out.
And the ranking never came out, and the invitations went out before the ranking went out, and so they got fucked out of an invitation. So everybody wants Valve to do it weekly. They want weekly ranking updates. But I think so far Valve's been doing it monthly.
Yeah, that's shitty.
Yeah, very.
Especially when there's new tournaments pretty much every week.
Dude, I know, right? It's insane.
Yeah,
it's
like think they do it more than once a month.
Mm-hmm. Especially when you have sometimes 5-6 tournaments in a month.
Yeah.
Considering the tier 2 tournaments, the tier 1 tournaments.
Yeah.
Shit, you're sometimes looking at 15 tournaments a month.
Really?
Yeah. Compared to like if you add all the tier 2, sometimes even if you want to add tier 3 in there too. I mean, you're looking at a lot of tournaments.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense to have a weekly ranking.
That's what I'm saying.
So you can update it every
that's what everybody's
single
saying.
tournament.
Yeah, that's what everybody's saying. Yeah.
Wait, I don't know how hard it would be to do either. Like,
well, the problem is Valve doesn't have. They're a massive company. They make shitloads of
Valve
money,
Gaming,
but they're
right?
but they have a tiny team.
Valve Game. Don't they develop some games?
Valve Corporation. They made Left 4 Dead.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the deagle from Left 4 Dead is the exact deagle in Counter Strike. Like
Really?
it's, in my opinion, no difference. It feels the exact same when I'm using it in Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead was a great game. Left 4 Dead, Left 4
Yeah,
Dead 2, all of them.
yeah. Valve also makes like
So,
TF2, like Team Fortress 2, which is
okay.
it's, I don't. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I've played it.
Or have you've played TF2?
Yeah. Yeah,
Why?
like 10 or so years ago, I played it for the first time, and then a couple months ago, I re-downloaded it, played it a little bit, haven't touched it since.
Yeah, I don't. That's crazy. I've never even. That's not my style of game whatsoever.
Yeah, yeah, like
I'm a
10 or so years
I
ago,
play
I played it for
Counter
the first
Strike.
time.
I play Counter Strike. If you play Counter Strike, TF2 is not typically your. Or maybe it's not. Maybe I'm not thinking of TF2. Maybe I'm thinking of Dota 2. I think I'm. Maybe they didn't make TF2. They made
No, I think
Dota
they
2.
did. I think they
Maybe
did
it's
make.
both. They made Dota 2 for sure. TF2 dev is Valve. Okay, they did make TF2, but they also made Dota 2. Yeah,
I'm looking to see when the last time I played
Valve.
Team Fortress 2 was. It was probably like
Anyway, they
last
made
summer.
both Dota 2 and TF2, but then Counter Strike.
Yeah.
They also they released a game not too long ago called Deadlock, which is also like a 3-lane hero game. Not a big
Oh,
deal.
I've seen that on Steam.
Steam probably, yeah,
Yeah,
Steam.
scrolling through.
Yeah, it's all in there.
You ever
I'm not a big
played
fan.
like Valorant or anything?
No,
Me neither.
Valorant. If there's a war going on between CS and Valorant,
No, yeah.
dude, an absolute war.
Last time I
And
played Team Fortress 2 was July 18th, 2024. I played for 46 minutes.
yikes.
I have
Yeah,
played it
so like
before, but yeah.
Counter Strike players and Valorant players do not get along. Because when Valorant first came out, a lot of the CS pros went over to Counter Strike or Valorant and fucking just immediately became the best in Counter Strike or in Valorant. So like, and then a lot of them started to hate it and went back to CS. It's a whole different thing. But the reason I prefer Counter Strike over Valorant is because I don't have heroes. I don't have to worry about some guy fucking seeing me through walls because he activated some ability like fucking Siege. I'm
Yeah.
not playing Rainbow Six Siege. I'm playing fucking Counter. Like I don't want abilities. Abilities piss me off. That's why I will never play Valorant.
Yeah, I've
Abilities
never
piss
played
me
Valorant.
off.
What's the other one that's like Valorant? I mean, there's Marvel Rivals now, but there's another
Oh,
one too.
Overwatch. How about
Overwatch,
Overwatch?
yeah.
Overwatch and Marvel Rivals are similar, but Valorant's not like them.
Really?
Valorant's like CS, where you have a bomb, you got to plant the bomb.
What's Overwatch and Marvel Rivals like?
So like there's like a objective on the map that'll move around that you got to defend, or
Oh,
like
like Team Fortress 2?
sure, never fucking played it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's what the goal is in Team Fortress 2.
yeah,
I don't know. I played for
but
46
I don't
minutes. I
know.
couldn't learn the
They're not
game.
my type. The other thing I prefer prefer in Counter Strike over Valorant is the fact that Counter Strike has like a set spray pattern, right? So if I hold the trigger and I pull down, my bullets are gonna go the same spray every single time I do it, as long as I'm consistent with how I'm pulling my mouse down. In Valorant, it's completely fucking random. Your bullets are just completely random. There's like some some like form of unity to it, or however people get used to it. I don't fucking know, but as far as I can tell, your bullets are completely random. You don't. There's if you looked at a wall and just held the trigger down and didn't move your mouse in Counter Strike, the bullet pattern on the wall would look the exact same every single time. every single time. In Valorant, it would not.
Yeah,
So
I don't know about
it
anything.
makes it way. I don't like, but biggest thing is the abilities. Having abilities. You know, you've tried to get me to play Siege. I
Yeah.
can't, man. I cannot have abilities. They piss me off. I like the simplicity of Counter Strike.
Yeah.
Grab a gun, grab a flashbang, and go shoot somebody in the head. Like it is. I love it. I love the simplicity of Counter Strike.
Speaking of
But
that,
it's
you know what I haven't played a whole lot? I actually just deleted it. Call of Duty.
what Counter Strike? Oh, Call of Duty. Yeah, I just uninstalled Call of Duty as well.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
deleted it the other day. 'Cause it was asking me for another 14 gigabytes. I'm like, dude, yeah, just got
Not
rid of
worth.
it. No, it's
Not
not.
worth it.
I downloaded 3 or 4 more games.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that shit. I mean, it's a good game, but for 160, 70 gigabytes, no, there's no way.
Yeah.
If it was 30 gigabyte game, sure, I'd keep it. I'd keep it around.
That's what I'm saying,
But
man.
150, nope. See you later.
Another another thing I was gonna say though about the simplicity and the beauty of Counter Strike is that it is simple, but at the same time it is so fucking complex. The amount of things that will go on mid round, during a round, that can happen during a round, for trying to figure out where people are, trying to get the information from the random teammates that you play with that are absolutely fucking stupid.
Yeah, I have no idea. You can't trust them.
It just yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But it is, I do love Counter because it is complex. It's trying to figure out everything, trying to work the movements in the fingers that with your AD counter strafing and moving around and trying to get your movement right, trying to yeah, it's there's just so much to the game, but at the same time, it's so simple because it's grab a gun, plant the bomb, shoot a guy in the head. It's
Yeah.
like at the same time, it's simple yet so complex. Love it.
Yeah. You good?
Great game. I think that's all I've got for Counter Strike, man.
Me too. That's all I got today.
The beauty that is Counter Strike.
Yeah. All right.
But
Appreciate you guys
sweet.
for
Well,
tuning
I mean,
in.
shit. Yeah. If you guys enjoyed the episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and come back next week
Yep. Monday at 1.
for more Monday at 1, baby.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Yep.